Yo, what's going on? In this video, we're gonna be going over run defense. I just gotta flip the side of the field that we're running on. And okay, so if you guys have had the ebook since I actually launched it, we put run defense in it that wasn't really like it was good enough. It was good enough run defense, but it wasn't like the defense that I run now. So this is pretty much an update to that video where we're gonna go kind of in depth to how I run it and what I run it against. Now, let's just hop in iForm real quick. Hopefully this actually has a. Alright, so this has a stretch. 3-4 odd is pretty much the defense. There's really no like everybody has different teams. Everybody has different personnel. Everybody has like like those specific things don't matter when it comes to actually running defense. Like you're pretty much going to be on your safety most of the time if you're going to be running the run defense that I run. So for personnel, the only thing that I would suggest is having somebody who has either enforcer or secure tackler at one of your safety positions so that you can actually go through and run it with that person. So, um, in 3-4 odd, we're only going to be looking at two plays here, and we're going to be looking at cover four drop show 2, and then we're going to be looking at storm brave 1. Those are the only two plays that I honestly run for run defense. Now, I posted a video on YouTube, and I don't want to mix up YouTube with the sub ebook because I feel like you guys are actually paying. So I don't want you guys to sit there and have videos that are on YouTube. So on YouTube, I dropped the edge blitz as run defense because it is really good run defense. But as soon as you run to the opposite side of where the linebackers are blitzing, you're like you can run all over it. So over Storm Brave, it's a whole completely different defense, and I like to flip it. So for personnel, for me, you want the secure tackler safety to be on the right side. You want them at your strong safety position. And that won't change with the 3-4 odd cover 4 drop show too. So now the difference between those two different plays and how I run them and what I run them against. Cover 4 drop show 2, you're gonna run that against I formations. The and we're gonna go over how to actually set it up. Anything else, if you're facing strong, if you're facing single back, wing tight, you're gonna be running the storm over brave. For some reason, if you guys are running against somebody who's running I form, cover 4 absolutely destroys it. It destroys the stretch play, and I'll actually show you guys exactly what I mean by that. So we're just gonna come out and stretch alert looky, and then on defense, like, and that's all you have to do is literally pinch your linebackers. I personally like to bring up my safeties so that they're there on the help, and then when you're running the stretch, for some reason, I don't know the exact reason, but the linebackers on the outside, they get like an insta win for some reason, and I'm actually gonna show the replay on that. So you see how this happens almost every single time with the linebacker. He gets that spinning animation every single time that they run a stretch, and this happens in I form. Against strong formations or weak formations, it doesn't happen as much as often. So in this one, you're gonna be able to pretty much get an animation to actually tackle the person that's running the ball, and boom, we end up tackling for a loss. And this happens almost every single time. Like, I'm actually gonna run it a few times so you guys don't think that this is like just one of those things that it's like, oh, like the defense is against stretch plays, against anything that's in I form, it absolutely destroys it. So once again, just to showcase that the run defense is there. Now he did it again, so I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna show it again. So boom, watch Michael Kendricks or Michael Kendricks, however you pronounce his name. Same exact animation. Now this happens every time, pretty much. Every single time. Now, if you guys want to do like something a little bit different when running this, like, and you can do this in the storm over brave. You set up your defense, and then you individually coverage your tight ends, your fullback, and your running back. It manually shifts them to the outside. You're just shading them underneath, like you're shading their coverage underneath. You're pressing them essentially is like what you're doing, and then the linebackers kind of shift out a little bit. Now this does take a little extra time, but it also helps out with run defense. Like it makes it so that you clog up the outsides a lot better. And once you do that, you can also pinch your D line to actually guard anything that's coming up the middle. So you see how they shift. That's not hurting you at all. Plus you have defense that's coming towards the outside. Now against stretch plays, it's going to be a little harder, as you can see, but that's how we run it out of the Storm Brave. Like that's just for I form. Literally, this is all we're doing is pinching our linebackers and boom. Again, Kendricks gets that animation, and then your secure tackle is going to be there for to actually stop him. All right, now let's go over the Storm Brave real quick, just so you guys again. This is against I form cover 4. Against anything else that a person is trying to spam the run against, you guys are coming out in Storm Brave. I'm gonna run it Storm Brave flipped, and we're gonna just come out in a let's come out into something that okay. This is the actual playbook for the Cowboys, and apparently they don't have anything decent. So let's just call it. I guess we can just call it Lucky, and we're gonna call Storm Brave. And for Storm Brave, you're gonna pinch your D line and you're gonna spread your linebackers. This is where we can sit there and do the little individually coverage so that they shift where you want them to. Now, I had some questions about the run defense on YouTube about lookies and stuff like that. But with the Storm Brave defense, you can actually take this guy and just put him in a yellow. Put him in a vert hook, because obviously they're not going to run the lookie to the strong. They're not going to run the lookie to the weak side of the field. They're going to run it to the strong side, which means that you'll be there to pretty much clog up any holes. Your user has to be on point for run defense. That's just the reality of the fact. If you have an enforcer, you can click off, but a lot of the times you are going to want to make that tackle yourself, because once you have that secure tackler, you're going to be able to sit there and literally tackle them yourself. And with secure tackler, you get that animation where it's you're kind of warping towards the defender. So again, boom, this is all you need to do. All you need to do to stop anything from strong. And even the computer doesn't have a hole to run through, so they're just trying to run up the hill to try to salvage any yards that they possibly can get. So let's do it one more time. Your user's there. And again, I wasn't even there for that, but we still clogged that up. My user sucked there, but we still ended up clogging that up. Again, gain of almost nothing. And it's just stuff like that. So you pinch your D line for Storm over Brave and spread your linebackers, and this pretty much stops most runs. The only thing that might give you some fits, maybe a dive. But for dive, all you have to do is crash your D-line down. And once you crash your D-line down while they're pinched, you end up getting an animation. I'm actually going to call timeout so I can show you guys. You get an animation where your guys are coming. They literally shoot right through the gap. It's kind of weird, but it works. So, that's what we're going to show. So Storm over Brave flipped. Right? I'm also doing the individual coverage thing just for my own personal reasons. And that is absolutely all you have to do is pinch, and once you pinch, you just crash your D-line down. That's it. I'm trying to get it so it does that it does the kind of the glitchy little, and then we're just screaming through against a dive. A dive is getting no yards on this. Maybe it's out of I form, so I might have to hop into a different formation, but I know that a lot of the time you end up getting like an insta shoot through the gap from your lineman. So let me actually call timeout and see if I can find that. So we don't have a dive out of that. All right. Halfback dive alert bubble. And even though we're in I form, I'm coming out in storm over. Oh, never mind. That's not gonna work. But yeah, this is typically the run defense that you guys are gonna want to run. It's very, very effective. It just is this is, to me, this is some of the best run defense that you guys are probably gonna find. and it's just for a sub. You know what I mean? I don't look on YouTube to see if other people have posted stuff like this, but I think the difference between running against I form or strong and weak and single back and stuff like that is literally the difference. Against I form, cover 4. Against strong, weak, single back, you guys are gonna want to be in Storm over Brave because you're in man coverage, it'll also be kind of decent like run defense, but I mean decent pass defense. But the thing is, your user's gonna have to be on point against anybody that's trying to like run like those plays where they sit there and start passing out of those formations. You know what I mean? So your passing defense has to be on point, like with your user. That's what stops people, because you can sit there and put people in zones and still stop the run. That's still a thing. Like you can take your blitzing linebackers and put them in a vert hook or put them in a purple to guard something else while the defense is still there. Do you know what I mean? That's my user's fault. That should have been a gain of nothing. But yeah, hopefully this run defense kind of helps you guys out. I know this is a little more in depth than the other one. I don't even remember what the other one was, and I'm not even gonna look at it because it's in the past. So yeah, this is what you guys are gonna want to be running. Remember, 3-4 odd, cover 4 drop show 2, and against I form, and then against any other thing, Storm over Brave. Simple. That's all I need to tell you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.